So this is a minor rant. One of the things that annoys me a lot about pre-drive training with dogs is the amount of debate I see around which training method is more effective. It's like constant, especially among dog trainers. Do you have to use an e-collar? Can you train with treats and toys? The debate goes on, and the answer actually is training method isn't important. It's really not, because there is a lot more to getting a high pre-drive dog under control than training. And that is what seems to be missed. There's a lot more to it than just training. So the training method doesn't matter. I wrote quite a lengthy blog on this, and I'll stick a link somewhere above the video, below the video, to the side, depending on what you're watching it on. But you'll be able to find a link if you want to read my blog. It is quite long. I spent time digging into like the reasons why people feel like they need to train with e-collars as opposed to treats and toys. And I looked at what the scientific literature brings to the table. I looked at what actually questions people ask when they're looking for support with using e-collars. I was focusing on e-collars because people keep contacting me and saying, Tracy, I've been told that if you want to train a high pre-drive dog, you have to use an e-collar. What do you think? So I wrote the blog to answer that question. And it is quite long, but it's a worthwhile read. And what it really brought home to me, because I don't train with e-collars, I've never really looked into them. I've just kind of ignored all of that. But a couple of things came out really strongly. And the first one was, it doesn't matter. The training method doesn't matter. People trying to train their dogs with e-collars were regularly turning up online and looking for help and saying, well, how high do I have to turn this collar before it will actually stop my dog? Or I've trained my dog with an e-collar and they're still chasing deer. There was lots of that conversation, and so they focused a lot on how high to turn the collar up and how long to keep pressing the button. The more usual, the conversations I see more usually, because of the way I train, are people who are looking for higher value food rewards or a better toy. But the problem's the same. It's not really about the training method. And that's why everybody, no matter how they're training, is coming along and experiencing the same sorts of problems. I've done this training, and my dog's still chasing stuff. And it's because it's an important part of the picture, but it is only a part of the picture. And that's why that happens. And the other thing that came out really strongly in the scientific literature was, because there's been a couple of studies that directly compare e-collar training and training with treats and toys. What came out so strongly in that, particularly in the most recent article, was if the trainers are working outside their normal skill set, they're not as successful. And so that made me think, so really, if you want to be as successful as you possibly can be, the absolute ideal thing to do is decide how you want to train your dog. Decide yourself. It's your dog and it's up to you how you train them. So decide what you are comfortable with and train that way. And then find a dog trainer who you can work with in the long term. Don't expect a quick fix for pre-drive. Even if somebody promises you it, I'm seeing no evidence that any training method gets you a quick fix. So don't look for a quick fix. Find a trainer that you can work with and expect to work with them in the longish term. And find a trainer who's skilled with pre-drive and skilled with using the training method that you would rather use, and then work with them. And that's your best chance of getting results, because really, It's not about training method, and a lot of what gets people success is they learn to be very skilled. Where they're using dog training, as well as all the other things, they work with a professional for long enough that they get the skilled level themselves. And I know that can be hard to hear because like learning new things is tough. But it's also transformational in your life, and learning to up your skill level at one thing will 100% improve your life in many, many different areas. So if your dog's prey drive is causing you a problem, choose that thing. Up your skill level at training dogs and at understanding prey drive, observing your dog, offering them alternatives. Up your skill level when it comes to prey drive, and I promise it will encourage you to up your skill level in lots of different areas of life as well. Because when you're successful at doing something, it encourages you to feel like you can be successful at other things. So that was my takeaway from all my research, but you can read the whole blog if you want to. Just look for the link around the video somewhere. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.